Hey breadwinners, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm bringing a newer strategy that I have come up with, and hopefully this gives you some clarity on all the different types of ad campaigns you can do. My name is Jenny Hansen Lane, and I am pursuing KDP to build the passivest, incomest river stream ever. So if you've been here, you know that I try to share everything with you. I want you to have a better experience than me. And I already had a really good experience. So I'm just taking everyone along for the ride and sharing the ups and downs. So I came up with this strategy when I wanted to take over an entire niche. I haven't quite done it yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So I started with validated keywords with that niche, inside that niche, and I identified the book that I wanted to target. And this is where the obscurity comes in, because I already had a best-selling book, but I wanted to compete with other low content publishers. So I did that formula of, can I out design them? Can I out feature them? Can I add more features into my low content and medium content books? Okay, so I looked at this, and the book that I wanted to target, it was not top selling. It was just around 200 BSR. So sales come maybe in a day, in a weekly time. I didn't know for sure, but I wanted to target it. So then what I did is I created my book, and I took that book that I wanted to target. I took the ASIN, and I kept doing that. I looked for similar ones in other self-publishers' accounts. Like, usually if someone publishes one, the pen name will give you more info about it. So I just did a lot of research on 20 ASINs, 20 books with the ASINs that had similar BSRs, or that seemed like if the customer was going to buy this book, they'd buy the new book that I just made. So this takes a little bit more work, but it's kind of fun to do because there's not as much cost up front in terms of like turning on expensive ads. So I kept a spreadsheet of the ASINs in, in Google Sheets, so I could copy and paste it into a manual ads campaign. Manual ads allows you to target by ASIN. So doing that, I'm able to show this new book that I made that's validated keyword and niche, that I tried to make better than my competition by adding more features and figuring out ways to make my A+ content look more attractive and put a different spin on it. What could I do to make this book different? And maybe I could get it to sell more than these other books that aren't even being used for ads. So some of these were used for ads and some of them weren't. So I didn't really pay attention to that too much. I looked at the BSR and I knew it was around 200. And the reason I did this is because I have one best-selling book that brings in like 3 or 4 grand a month, right? It's the big hitter. And I wanted to create other big hitters, but it's not happening in the same way. And so I'm figuring out, like, what are the complements of this book? What are the loose matches? What are the substitutes? What's really close to this book? And where's the competition? Where does the competition lie with this? Okay. So I'm essentially figuring out books that are a little bit less popular but still do well because they're in evergreen categories, and getting those little windfall sales, right? So once I did that, I turn on the ad for the book that I created, and I'm targeting these 20 ASINs. I'm just very slowly adding my bid amount until it starts moving. Okay. So the obscurity is, people always look for books under 150 BSR because they want to make tons of sales every day. And I just wanted to take a step back and see if I could compete with books that sell on a weekly or a monthly basis, right? One sale is important to me. Like, what if I set up a strategy that didn't require me to check the ad every day? That's what this obscurity is, okay? I feel like these are kind of the books that go under the radar. Like, people are so focused on, like, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. But, like, if you already enjoy making a certain type of book, like, and it sells, like, monthly or weekly, I'm not going to stop making it because that's fun for me. Like, the creation process, for me, that's the part where that's what keeps you going. Like, yeah, I only have 418 books that I did in 2022, but a lot of those I really enjoyed making, so it was okay. So I'm doing that more just to test out this theory, because none of these books are in the top 10 that I'm targeting with my ads, and it's okay because I'm trying to build a really strategic portfolio of stuff that does well. And this is kind of where the windfall sales come from. And when people are buying your book out of obscurity, they're getting to know your pen name and they're looking into what you offer again. So far this is lower. This has been a lower ACoS because there's less sales, less clicks, and it's a ad that I'm comfortable leaving on, knowing it's not going to spend a bunch all the time. That's one benefit of obscurity, is that when you're trying to compete with the top of the top of the top and all the top 10, like, you have to spend more. And a lot of people complain that their ads they spend too much on their ads because they are only going after the top 10 categories. Really saturated means more competition, means you have to spend more money. So these have been peaceful for me just to turn on and figure out. And I want you just to think about that there are so many different ways to run ads, right? And that there's some other countries I run ads in, and I'll get a bill from them, and it's like, you spent $1.19 this month. Like, I'm learning, I'm learning the algorithm in those areas. For bringing a book out of obscurity, the important thing here is that my expectations are met in terms of I'm not expecting to make $1,000 a day for a book. I mean, I want to get there one day, you guys, and I want you to be there too. But there's a lot of different strategies that we can use. So this is something that I wanted to share with you, just for you to think about. Maybe you guys have books in the BSR of around 200 and you want to target other ones. This is a really good strategy for that, those manual ads. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for pressing play on this video. Love you. Peace out.